Got Sawyer with us this morning.
That's right. We got Sawyer, JOSEY in the studio. When I say, and you hear me say this often, that these aren't just some kids out there in the world. You know, a lot of charities, you're helping children somewhere, somehow. But when I say they're your friends and your neighbors, it comes really close to home when Sawyer lives in the building next door, right down the bottom of the hill. I run him over at the bus stop when he steps off every day in the afternoon. His mom is waiting at the bottom of the hill. And first I hit his big sister, and then I hit Sawyer when I come around the corner in my big old pickup truck. Right, Sawyer? No. That's just silly, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you started out as a future camper at camp, right?
Yes.
And you got to play with some of these kids, and now you're coming to camp as a camper. How's that?
It's fun.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird because every time they have a weird activity at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And
you mean like an opening skit?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a lot of fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
And every time it's a different theme. So what was the theme at camp this past year?
This year?
Yeah.
Chapter 35.
And what did they do as part of that?
So they took ideas from different books and made it real life.
Okay.
And
so what was your favorite book that came alive for you?
honestly, I don't really know.
Did you go somewhere? Did you do an event that just stood out as a lot of fun that you weren't expecting at camp?
Yeah.
What was that?
So we did a Harry Potter train ride.
Oh, awesome. Was it like being in my basement? You went on a train ride, and it was all Harry Potter themed. Did you eat goofy things on the train?
No, not really. We didn't really eat.
You didn't eat?
No.
You didn't have shepherd's pie?
No.
You didn't have candy?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Oh, see, you forgot to eat is what you're telling me. Okay, I get it. This is a typical camp story. I don't need no shepherd's pie. We've got candy on board, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see any Dementors? Yeah, those are those spooky people all dressed in black?
No.
Okay, that was my wife. That's why I was asking. I'm married to a Dementor. Now you understand why I am the way I am, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Tony, his mom is in the studio with us, too. And, Tony, you wake up one day, and Sawyer's not feeling well. What happened there?
We had noticed that he had been feeling a little tired. He was 3 years old, and he had stopped taking a daily nap, so we weren't sure what exactly was going on. And he had some bruising that wasn't going away. And when he went to his well child visit, his primary care physician said, let's send him for a blood test. And that same day, they asked us to come back to the hospital for additional blood tests. And it was that evening that we met his oncologist, and she told us that he had leukemia.
Okay, tell me emotionally, what did that do to your husband and yourself? Because I know you guys, and you're so supportive of things going on in the community, the neighborhood. I mean, everybody just feels like they can lean on you guys, and then all of a sudden you got hit by this.
It was immediately just gutting. And after the initial shock, quickly have to realize that we not only need to step up for both of our children, but that we need to now ask for help. And our neighbors were amazing. Our friends in the community were wonderful, and our family from far away did an amazing job of supporting us. But it was certainly a change for us to need to ask for help, and we were so grateful that we had a community of support, and that's what led us to becoming part of camp.
And camp comes along, and they say, first of all, you have to be between the ages of 7 and 17 to go to camp. But they had just come along with some new programs for kids like Sawyer, right? And
we jumped on board. We were so grateful to have the play groups. And yes, they were just getting started, and they were a ton of fun. And it felt so good to be able to be welcomed by such a large number of volunteers who knew what we were going through based on their experience with campers for years, but also to be able to meet other families. Because when you're in the infusion bay and you're at your hospital appointments, you're not quite sure who around you is going through the same experience. But at camp, and it's a time to not only connect about how your children are doing, but also to connect about everything else in the world and just sort of set cancer aside and get to know these people as people. And it was a valuable part of Sawyer's treatment, and we've made incredible friends, and I know that we'll be part of each other's lives forever and part of camp forever.
863-1051 or 1-800-501-9565. We're talking to Toni JOSEY and her young man, Sawyer, who's in the studio with us. And Sawyer, are you looking forward to winter weekends?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think you're going to do at winter weekend?
Frank, go ice skating.
Nice. Maybe play a little pond hockey on the ice there?
Yeah.
A little, maybe jump on a snowmobile?
No.
Do 70 miles an hour across the grounds of Camp TaKumTA?
No.
No, you don't see yourself doing that?
Well, maybe.
Maybe build a snow fort?
Yeah.
Maybe, you know what? There's girls at winter weekend. You could throw snowballs at them.
Oh, yay.
Or at your counselor, even better.
Oh, yay.
You know what's fun is to make a snowball and stick it in your counselor's bed right before bedtime. I'm just putting it out there as an idea.
Okay.
Yeah. Toni, not only have you gotten to know camp through Sawyer, but you have a daughter who has gone to the siblings camp.
Yes.
You've got a husband who's gone to dad's weekend, and you've gone to mom's weekend. So you know the whole deal here, the whole drill. What is special about those events for you guys?
It's wonderful to see the support that our daughter gets going to siblings weekend. In fact, she was the first person in our family who got to go to TaKumTA overnight because
That's
Sawyer
right. Just
wasn't
where it
old
fell on
enough.
the calendar.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
And camp was so generous to be able to allow her to go right away and become part of this community. And she had a fabulous time. And the first year that I was eligible to go to Mom's Weekend, I didn't actually go because I thought, it's not for me, it's for the other moms. But I heard you on the radio the other day, and you remembered the year that I did finally go. I was all in. I mean, I understand how the kids are made to feel. And my husband Alan has had an amazing time at Dad's Weekend. He was there for the first Dad Weekend.
He probably re-roofed camp while he was out there. I know Alan. I look out my front door. He's on my garage roof. What's he doing out there? Oh, he's putting a new roof on. That's nice.
He's got a thing for maintenance. So
he does too. He's amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So they've had a wonderful time, and it's so we feel fortunate to be able to feel that magic from camp for all of us all year round.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing your kids with the whole Camp TaKumTA family, and I'm sure they're going to have a great time in 2020, and I'm sure there are folks who are listening right now who want to help send Sawyer back to camp in 2020. So, folks, he's got a big smile on his face. He wants to go to camp. Sawyer, why don't you tell everybody what phone number to call, okay?
863-1051 or 1-800-501-9565.